Another interesting two sessions in Interlagos. The FP1 was majorly about setup changes and how the cars would fare, and we saw the Red Bull take a radical approach, went on soft, went on medium, but the Ferraris, I think they took a more reserved approach, did the hard tires alone. Maybe for the race they did their long runs on the hard tires. They suffered much, which affected them in the qualifying, but the Mercedes looks fast. They got it on and they were bumping it on Alonso and Aston Martin, even Stroll. They came to the party very well. Carlos Sainz looks fast. It looks as if they are settled in on the car, but in qualifying, the first time this season, I think Williams messed Carlos Sainz up. They really messed him up a big time. We need to get into it. The Red Bull brought a simple upgrade on the car because they've never stopped upgrading. I think McLaren's too brought upgrade. I will look at the paper. It's very interesting that Red Bull are not giving up to the end of the season, but that sprint looks as if their give up as probably it has weakened because I don't see how they don't want to give up and they are still where they are. They are not improving. They are not showing the right pace. I think they should show to show that they really want to improve. Now, Ferrari were confused about the rear wings they would use. The two drivers were on different setup. By the end of the day, for the qualifying, they used the eye down force wings, and I think it backfired, and that's what they are going to stick to tomorrow. Because on medium tires and on soft tires, the rear wing performed differently. Remember, they used it in FP1 only on hard tires. Now, using it on soft tires and medium tires, the rear wing performed woefully, and it was not what they really expected. And I think there's a lot going on with Ferrari, which I think is more than just the drivers and the team. It's about the management. It's about understanding. I think maybe next year they might integrate well, they might get it right. And I still think to Lewis Hamilton engineers and radio, maybe they are probably bringing this radio to us to see what is happening. But I think Lewis Hamilton's radio sometimes looks like rubbish. Lewis Hamilton could not get out of SQ2 today, and the engineer just said P11 come into the pit, and I'm like, what is this guy saying? As in, you guys got your drivers out late, Leclerc spun, Lewis Hamilton caused himself an infringement because he was trying to get to the line to improve. Now you just felt like, oh, P11 guy, get into the pit, man. Oh, you can't do more than that. That is not how to motivate somebody. Oh, guy, Lewis Hamilton, we are P11. We messed up as a team. The conversation should be there. P11 box. And I'm like, bro, hell no. I'm a Daruni. There's no joke. I'm a Daru, as in we go scatter ram. As in the communication is worse. The engagement is not it. It's just shabby. It's wish-wash from Ferrari. It's not making sense at all. And I feel like Ferrari has a lot to do if they really, really want to get this whole thing, especially the competition, sorted out. They have a lot to do, seriously. But anyway, Yuki Tsunoda spun out in FP1, and coming to the sprint qualifying, it didn't look better because it was just 4 laps in FP1 and spent almost 3/4 of the session in the pit. Came out, team didn't do a good job on him. Like to me, they've always done that to Yuki Tsunoda. They didn't do a good job for him, and he was out in Q1. But I think they have a lot to do. From the rumors we're having, he's not going to race for that team in 2026. I think Red Bull should hold their head up and say, yes, we messed you up, guy. We really messed you up. But we are not a team that really want Asians to race for us. Because that's how I feel what they should do, because they have no reason for not compensating or putting in there. This is a team that left Sergio Perez. So why would they hold on to him? I think they have a lot to do. Colapinto has signed a 1-year deal renewal with Alpine, and I think, to me, if he was able to get on his mojo after a good performance with Williams in the last year, 2024 season, and after like 7 to 10 races, was able to get himself into rhythm in Alpine, in which I think Jack Doohan did a better job than him, then Alpine looks like a team that I think they are lost. McLaren are looking to be back. They did a very good job, very impressive job in the sprint qualifying, and I hope they can come tomorrow and improve on that job, because that will make the championship more interesting. Now, this is race 21, and going into this race 21, Brazil is a place in which most of the championship get either a total turn or the forward turn. So whatever happens this weekend will let us see what the championship will be like in the next 3 races. But let's quickly go into the sprint qualifying. In SQ1, we had Colapinto out, Lawson, Tsunoda, Ocon, and Carlos Sainz out in 20. That was a very bad one for Carlos Sainz. And the team messed him up, got him into traffic. He was unable to improve his time. The SQ2, we had Aston Martin looking very fast. Alonso set the time. He went straight to pit because he knew that he was safe, and they did a very powerful 1:09 to the lower. So coming in there, we have Alonso P1, Norris, Russell, Piastri, and Antonelli. Antonelli was very, very good this weekend. Lewis Hamilton out in SQ2. 11th, Albon, Gasly, Bortoleto, Bierman, all out. And I think the Ferrari will have a very long debrief night because it's getting more complicated for them and it's not looking nice. The way they have been performing presently, because it looks as if something is wrong with that team and a lot looks wrong with that team. But going into SQ3, we had Norris setting the time and resetting the time to show his dominance, and Antonelli doing a very great job qualifying second. And from the middle of season, he has upped his game. Oscar Piastri in third. Let's see what McLaren can do tomorrow. Maybe 1 and 2, 1 and 3, still a good job, but how are they going to create more gap at the end of this weekend to Max Verstappen than they've done before? Because if they can capitalize on Max Verstappen's woes with Red Bull this weekend, because it's looking like it's going to be a bad weekend for them, because Max Verstappen qualifying sixth. He said himself after SQ2 that the car is broken, and he came in SQ3, he was just shaking his head because the car was not giving him what he wanted. And that's what I've always said over 2-3 years ago, that when the car is not performing, that is when you would know what Max Verstappen could really do. When he said if he had had the McLaren, he would win every race. Now this is the reality. For me, I'm happy. 2 races ago, they asked him about the same question again. He said no comment, which shows that he has really looked at it and knew he messed up. He made a mistake, saying that, and that is the art of a champion, learning from your mistake. But certainly in F1, bro, it's not easy. No driver came to joke. These guys have come to put their whole lot out there to make sure they do a good job. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So overestimating yourself sometimes could be a bad game for you. George Russell 4th, Alonso 5th, Verstappen 6th, Stroll 7th, Leclerc 8th. It's going to be a long weekend for Ferrari. Leclerc just shows that is where the pace of the car is, and I'm looking at them tomorrow in the race. It still looks as if Bierman looks faster than them in the race, because during the race pace, I think the Haas were faster. Sauber were faster than Ferrari. I don't know how Ferrari will do it tomorrow. Isaac Aja, Knight, and Nico Hulkenberg has been doing the terrific job this season, qualified 10. The own boy, Gabriel Bartoletto, did a good job to qualify in 14. Tomorrow, there will be rain all through tomorrow, but the rain in the morning will wash the track. We are going to have a green track to start tomorrow. So let's see what these drivers can do tomorrow. It's going to be a very good sprint race tomorrow and a very wonderful qualifying. I think those drivers will learn from whatever comes or whatever happens in the race. Those that will lower their car will lower it a little bit for the qualifying to get more performance during the qualifying and during the race. But I think the only team that whatever they learn will still go to Lyco is Ferrari. They will still do lift and coast on Sunday. They will still do lift and coast tomorrow. That Ferrari car is cost. Case closed. I won't say more than that. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Yeah, catch you guys for the sprint, race, and the qualifying tomorrow. I love you guys. Bye. Cheers.